hosting with me today. Now, in honor of his presence, I made sure that we would talk about one of my favorite things, squash. Did you know that?
Squash.
There are over 100 varieties of squash, Rookie. Isn't this exciting?
Boy, I bet my wife wishes she was here right now. She's a squash
You can make this
addict.
stuff for her. So here with some fall-inspired squash recipes, we welcome the owner of Golden Fig Fine Foods and a squash aficionado, Lori Kroll. Lori, this is the time of year when I really my eyes get way bigger than my stomach.
Yes.
And anywhere I am where there's all these different varieties, I just buy them. And it's because there are so many beautiful varieties.
There are so many really beautiful varieties, and I love how inexpensive they really are.
I know.
I mean, I've gotten huge pumpkins that I've cubed and frozen and cubed and made into soups, and it was like $8 for this giant.
Yeah,
Rookie, do you know
that's
this
cheap.
is my favorite squash of all?
That's the banana squash.
This is called a delicata squash.
But you were close.
You were close, yes. And the skin is so thin that you can eat the skin. And Lori taught me this. You just slice it up, and then you can roast it. And it's like candy.
It's what we actually are
Just like-
sauteing in this
Oh,
first
Oh my
okay.
gosh!
today.
Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, so what are we doing with these?
I was initially going to do the Thelma Sanders, but I realized I wanted to do one that everyone could find everywhere.
Okay.
You can find the delicata everywhere.
Yeah.
So what I did was, as you said, I just sliced it thinly and sauteed it for just a few minutes.
Okay.
And then in the same pan that we sauteed that, we're just adding in some mushrooms and apples and onions.
So if you find a Thelma Sanders squash, which one is that you have sitting
That
here?
one is apparently not present on the table.
It's all right in here.
That's
It's all
fine.
in here now.
But if you found that one somewhere at a farmer's market or whatever, that would be a great
It
option.
is. It's an heirloom one, and I love all of these heirloom squash that seem to be making their way back.
But it is nice that you're showing one that you can get. Because, I mean, the delicata squash, they have it like any
Everywhere.
grocery store.
You can get it everywhere. I
Yeah.
will say the farmer's market right now, there's an amazing amount of squash. Like, did you see that white-looking acorn one, Elizabeth?
Oh,
So
Yes.
that's
look at this,
called
you
a
guys.
mashed potato squash, and it's white inside.
No.
It is, and it's delicious and different.
Do you go to the Minneapolis Farmers Market?
St. Paul.
St. Paul
Yes.
is good. I like them both.
Yes.
You can get great breakfasts at both.
Agreed.
That's
But
the key.
let me ask you, does an heirloom squash just mean it's out of shape and ugly? Is
Yes. No.
Is that the big difference?
Just a lot of times a really old seed that's been saved and passed down for
Give
generations.
it a break.
But
Don't
not known for
body
their
shame
beauty.
the
Not known for their
squash.
Not
beauty.
known for
Okay.
their beauty.
Okay.
Yes,
that's a better
fair.
way to say it.
Okay, then how do we
so
continue
in theory,
this?
we've just sauteed these until the mushrooms start to soften and the onions soften, and then we're going to add a little bit of chicken stock.
Oh, great.
And
Look, she just keeps.
I
Lori's
know.
so
Just in a
low-key.
cup.
She cooks everything like with a fork.
Everything
it's
just smells
just
fantastic.
really
and then it's as simple as, if you guys want to taste while
Yeah,
I
we
add
do.
the
Oh,
squash
no,
back
I
in.
really don't want to at all.
So give that a try. And it has a little, I'm going to add the squash back in.
Okay.
Okay.
And so that's basically it. And then you just heat it back up with that stock in there until the squash warms back up. And you've got this really simple little side dish. You
I
can
got
serve
food.
that. That's all right.
That's okay.
With
That-
chicken, you could serve it with salmon. It's just delicious.
Oh,
Okay.
A
it's
little
really
honey
soft.
chev on the top.
I love
I got to get some apple.
the bite with everything in
Oh.
it. Did you get any of the mushrooms, Rook? That's really good.
All right,
isn't
I'm not a mushroom guy.
it? Really?
So those mushrooms are from R&R Cultivation, and they're in
Yes.
Roseville, so
Yes.
super close, and they're doing all these really cool different mushrooms.
Oh, I want to go and
Okay.
meet them. I want to
Yeah,
talk.
like,
What do you
they're
think
super
about that?
approachable. They're
Yeah.
not too
You don't
much.
have to
Wow.
love everything,
They're not
but
super
No, I don't have to
mushroomy.
love everything, but I'll try one just for the hell of it.
I know that's really
Again.
impressive. Super good.
This doesn't have that mushroomy texture that I.
Agreed. Ooh, good
Yeah.
stuff. I think they're really good, and you're starting to see them. I mean, they're at the farmer's market. I'm starting to see them pop up in more co-ops. We have them at Golden Fig, of course.
Okay.
But yeah, they're really good. I think if this kind of thing is where you can buy that kind of different package of mushrooms in the store and give it a try.
Tell me about this soup that you got going on here, Lori.
Super simple. I just use the red curry squash, which is this one, and it is so vibrantly orange.
Oh.
Like, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so I just roasted the squash and then sauteed onions and added it to the blender and
I'm just
kind of
gonna
buzzed
reach
it
it.
up. So it's super smoky from the chipotle that
Whoa,
I added.
yeah.
I'm just going to be wearing this in about 15
Do
seconds.
that. Eat that. Oh my gosh, I love the chipotle in there with the smokiness. And then what are you going to add into
So
this
that
cavity?
one is super simple, and we can actually stir that up. We're going to add that wild rice
Okay.
and that cooked pork sausage
Into this pan?
not
into
use
this
my spoon, huh?
pan.
Okay, there we go.
And this is just some squash, and that squash that I actually took out of that.
Yeah.
That was some cooked pork sausage. And so basically,
You're going to serve it
you're
in the
gonna
squash.
you're gonna
wow.
stir it all together,
Yeah, yeah.
put it in that squash, and bake it, and just until everything kind of warms
She's
up.
good. All right, we've got these recipes from Lori on TwinCitiesLive.com. Be sure to visit her darling store. It's Golden Fig Fine Foods
love it.
in St. Paul. Your new restaurant right next to you, Hyacinth, Lori.
I love it.
Outstandingly good. All right, video of a